Hi, fellow old farts. Today is a really special show. Um, I'm going to hang on. I want to make sure my sound is off over here. So, back to me here. Thank you so much for joining in. If you're here, we really need everybody's help and support. And I'm gonna hopefully add quite a few guests today to our show. We have a serious situation that I've just become aware of, and I have been diligently working for the past 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks, I don't know, on communicating with my own senator in the U.S. Senate and my lawmakers here in Nevada. And I hope to inspire many of you to do the same thing. We are we are uh, really experiencing a variety of strange things happening legal system in with drones. First of all, as you know, one of the most strictest rules I have on old farts with drones is that there's no political conversations. And I have to tell you, this issue of banning DJI drones is not a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. It's both. Both Democrats and Republicans are voting to outlaw DJI drones in its entirety in the United States. The main way they're going to do this is by restricting them to use the airwaves, FCC, the section that the ability from the controller to the drone is handled by a signal that's approved by the FCC. Without that happening, there's no drones. So, unless it's a so called American drone, and I will continue to say so called American drone because the drones that are currently claiming to be American are about 80 to 90% Chinese parts. And the situation is really bizarre. Most of you know, well, at least I'm going to tell you, I have been in communication with DJI for the past 3 weeks and communicating with them about this situation. They have proven over and over and over that their data is not being shared with the Chinese government or with being saved on a Chinese server. It is pure fiction based on a few radical people believing that this is happening. I don't know anything about TikTok or any of these other bans on Chinese things, but I believe we have connected ourselves to China a long, long time ago. And there are so many other things in our lives that could be sending data to China or giving intelligence of any type to China than drones. Every one of you, we all have a Chinese drone in our hand. There's more information on that telephone about anything about the United States, about me, about anything on that phone. And yet our lawmakers don't want to ban Apple phones or Android phones or Google phones, but there is a good 10 times more data on a phone than there is on a drone. And I do believe that there is a handful of American companies who believe that if they can get DJI out of the market, then their sales will increase. And they are funding a massive campaign to lobby lawmakers, not just our national lawmakers, but lawmakers in your state, to ban DJI drones from every state. And then also there is currently a bill just presented that wants to ban DJI from all of the United States by cutting off the connection to the Federal Communications system and the FCC, so that they cannot use radio signals in the United States to operate. So anyway, I'm on my soapbox, I know, and I hope I'm looking in the chat here now to see if anybody's even hanging in here with us. But I have to tell you, I think this is an issue that we all have to deal with, and we need to deal with it now before many of these laws have already happened. So the first order of business today that I have is I want to be able to show you, hopefully I got a couple guests showing up here soon, but whether they show up or not, I want to be able to show you how to communicate with your lawmakers, whether they're federal lawmakers, your senators and representatives in the U.S. Congress, or your state lawmakers, your Senate and Assembly, or whatever your state legislature is, how to communicate with those people. That's where we need to start. We have now 13,400 some members in the Old Farts with Drones, and we can make a difference if we can all act. And that now is the time to act. You need to write a letter, write an email. You can write a physical letter. You can make a phone call. You can communicate with these lawmakers and express your opinion. Most of the lawmakers that I've talked to over the past 3 weeks, they respond to people telling them their opinion, and they want people to tell them their opinion. And so we all have an opportunity, and I have to tell you, I don't want to have to fly something inferior because the government believes that DJI is stealing data and sending it to the Chinese government. DJI has proven multiple times, and I have documents here today to pull up that proves that there is no data going from our drones to the Chinese government. This is a joke in China, but this is real here. So we need to get our message across. So to begin with, if you want to communicate with your representatives, I'm going to bring up on my screen, on the screen here, a website. Okay. And this website here, it's called Open States, and the actual address is openstates.org. O-R-G. Okay. Please. Okay. Please. Go to this site. Hang on a second. I have our guest is having a problem coming in here. Let me make sure he's got the right link. Pause 1 minute. Sorry about that, folks. I wish I had somebody here to tell a joke for me, but I don't. And so anyway, so I think I sent out the wrong link here. So, okay. So I'm going to bring in one of our promoters and one of our, persons who's representing our community with the FAA. I'm going to bring in Vic Moss. Hi, Vic.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all?
Good. Have you been listening to my rant?
Yeah, I have. I had the link to show 11, so I was like,
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. Hey, it happens to the best of us.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
absolutely been
Thank you
listening.
for being here. I really appreciate you taking this time
Oh, sure.
to share your commitment to this issue.
Near and dear to my heart.
Yes. So tell me what you think.
Well, I think you hit a lot of it already. What you were talking about, and I definitely want to emphasize the fact that this is a political issue, but you can talk about politics without becoming political. And I will be the first to admit, most of the people that support the DJI ban are in my party. I'm an unapologetic conservative, but I'm not real happy with a lot of them.
Yeah.
I had, if y'all were monitoring the chat we had in the group today, I mentioned that I had a Rubio staffer. I was in DC last month. It'd be March, I think, at this point. Oh, it's May already. And I was there with AUVSI for Hill Day, and we were talking to different staffers, and actually a couple of representatives as well. I had a staffer from Rubio when DJI was brought up. He said nothing would make me happier than to see DJI just blasted off the face of the earth. And it's just like, yeah, it's a little short-sighted, buddy. And he's like, he was like 12. Maybe not 12.
I know how you feel.
But it was
my doctor's 13 years old,
exactly. It was incredibly short-sighted on his part. And I didn't raise it because that's not, we were there. I just said, that's really short-sighted, but this is neither the time nor the place to discuss this. And that's what we're up against in DC. It's just the ignorance of the staffers, because let's face it, it's rarely the Congress critter that is actually the one that deep dives into this stuff. It's almost always their staffer. Right. And it's a concerted effort by two. I almost hesitate to name them, and maybe I won't. You can tell me if I can name them or not. But two American drone companies.
I say name them.
Okay, it's Skydio and Brink, which is unfortunate because I have friends in Skydio and I have friends in Brink. I worked on an FAA subcommittee with one of the really great Skydio people. She did an awful lot of work that was great for the industry, but they can't compete. And so what they're trying to do is you can't raise the level of an industry by cutting the legs off the industry leaders. It's just not how it works.
No. And that's what they want to do. I think that,
they're behind the Florida issue.
Their business strategy, to increase their profit, to ban DJI.
It's all Chinese. It's also Autel and any, I don't know if the other ones are still around or not, but DJI and Autel are the two that are going to be hurt. Yeah, it's absolutely.
The current bill, the latest bill that was just introduced about 4 days ago, here. Just specifically
Oh, the
mentioned
FCC one.
DJI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just flat out stupid. That wasn't
Yes.
even a data issue. That was you guys are being mean issue.
Yes.
It's just silly. It's
Just
silly.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. That's
So-
like suing Ford because somebody took a Ford, drove drunk, and hurt somebody.
Okay.
It's like, well, let's ban Fords. That's not how it works.
No. So listen, if you don't mind, let me show everybody what
Okay.
I was attempting to do. Is that all right? Before
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely. I'll keep
think-
talking. So shut me up.
Yeah, no, keep going. I'm going to show this right now. Now, this is what I found. This is not a political, they're not on anybody's side. Okay. They're only helping people understand information or where to get information
Mhm.
on. First of all, you can track any bill in any state, in any jurisdiction here, or national bill. You can track something here by, if you typed in here DJI drones, and it would probably bring up what it is. It would also bring up, any other miscellaneous stuff. Over here, find your legislators. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this on the site live here, and I don't mind sharing. I've never minded sharing my address, and that's all. You don't need to give them your name. You don't have to tell them anything else other than what they're doing is they're pinpointing where you are in the United States. I'm sorry for those. I know we have some people here that are not in the United States. Unfortunately, today's topic is all about this United States. But so here I'm going to type in my address.
And if you're worried about it, use your neighbor's address. I mean, it's going to be the same.
I'm not worried about it at all.
I'm not either. If you can't figure out why it lives, nobody knows how to use the internet.
It's a piece of cake to figure out where I live. If I have never been hidden at all. 89123. Okay, and click on certain. Now, if you have an option here to use your current location, that uses your IP address, which isn't that accurate. Give them your zip code. It's much more accurate. Okay, and then this has just, in that short period of time, here is all of my state legislators. Here is all of my federal legislators. Okay. Now I know this, Nevada has had a extremely strong female push, and we are currently the only state with a female majority legislature. And so my Elaine Marzola is my assembly in the lower house, the assembly, and Julie Pazina is my state senator. So you will find on your search here the same type of information and you can see here the district. You might want to note that in your letter to tell them that, hi, Elaine, I live in District 21 in the state of Nevada, and you are my representative. That would be a good way to start your letter to your representative.
I would actually say something slightly different. I would not use the first name. Use
No?
their title
Okay.
and their last name. I think you know Miss Marzola, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you know her personally.
I know her personally.
Yeah.
Yes,
so if
I
it's
do. Yes.
Is your lower, are they reps or senators? Whichever one they are.
Upper is senators, lower
okay.
is assembly.
So Representative Marzola, Senator
Right.
Pazina. That's
Senator
who you
Pazina,
would. That's how you would, unless you have that personal relationship already established. 'Cause
Exactly.
Otherwise, that's a little forward.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful is a nice way
Yes,
to put it.
I got it. Okay. So yes, address them by their title. And Ray Kelly says in the chat, females are taking over the world. Ray, I think you got the link, so jump in if you can. So then here is my federal representatives, and I want everyone to, you can see this, and you happen to see what Nevada is, and this is, there are 2 senators, and I live in District 3 in Nevada. So Congressional District 3 in Nevada. So this woman here, Susie Lee, is my congresswoman. And so I would start by communicating with these people. And on this website, if, for example, let's say Jackie Rosen, I want to click on her name, and then you get, here is her website. Here is another website. That's her contact form. She has a contact form on her website, so you can use that contact form. She has an office in Reno. Our state is pretty north and south in our state, divided. And so she has an office in Reno, and she has an office in Las Vegas. And here is the phone numbers for those offices. And then here is her office in the Capitol, and she's in the Senate office building in Washington, D.C. And there is her phone number in Washington, D.C. So you have multiple methods right here of communicating with this senator. And this is just happens to be mine, but I mean, this can be any senator that you would like to see. Okay, so this is I think this website is just very simple and informative. And if I went back here to my state, let's go to Julie. Julie hasn't given them a photograph, but here is Julie's email address. Here is her office number. Here is her phone number at her office at the Capitol in Carson City. That's where my Capitol is. And then this shows me a map of the section that she represents there. And then here are the bills that she's sponsored. So if you want to learn more about this representative, whether they're, on you're a Republican, or you're a conservative, or you're a Democrat, or a liberal, or whatever, the independent, whatever you call yourself, it doesn't matter. That this issue is really both. So openstates.org, O-R-G. And I shared the instead of sharing the window, I shared the Google tab. So that's why I guess you're not seeing the domain name here, but it's openstates.org. Please write that down, jot it down, write a letter, write something, but you need material. And so we have some sources today to share with you about the material that you can quote here. So what do you think, Vic? What should we add to that?
I would say definitely you want to do, I don't have anything on me because this was almost last minute. You gave me an hour, and I'm still trying to get ready for Expo for next week. So it's a crazy, crazy week for me. But you can do things like Haya's got some good articles on Drone XL. And so you can go do some of that stuff. You can talk about, ask why. And anytime you correspond, whether it's in person, whether it's via email, via phone, with one of your congressional people or a staffer, be polite. I know probably everybody on here has heard the old saying, you get more flies with honey than vinegar. You still end up with flies. So I never quite understood that, even being Southern. But it's you really do. You need to be respectful. You need to be personable, and you need to not just talk about the company line. You need to say, look, if I am going to do If I can't use my DJI, let's just say that, I can't do this. Either I can't, in the case of a lot of the people here, can't enjoy my hobby. It's relaxing. In my case, I can't make my business run without DJI
Right.
or Autel. I've got 12 drones. 10 of them are either DJI or Autel. And so it's an issue in that it makes no sense. Should we go fly, I'm in Colorado. Should I go down to the Air Force Academy and fly a DJI drone? No, probably shouldn't. Or over to Buckley Airspace or Space Race Place, whatever it's called. But you know what? Speaking of the Air Force Academy, you know what they use to train cadets on when it comes to drones? Phantoms.
Oh.
At least they did a couple years ago. I was down there on a tour, and they use Phantoms, but they're not connected to the internet, so it's not an issue.
No DJI drone needs to be connected.
Exactly, unless you're flying in a controlled airspace and you need to unlock.
Yes.
Then that's
but
it.
Once it's unlocked, you can disconnect the internet.
Yeah, or you get a custom unlock. You don't need to be online. So you need to make it personal. You need to make any communication you're doing. It's like, this is how it affects me. If businesses always, you want to talk about, hey, let's talk about businesses. You can find out how many people are in your county, how many remote pilots are in your county, different places like that. So you want to make it personable and you want to make it personal. And you want to be respectful. And I would even go so far as you mentioned that you had a link in there that has a contact form. I would go on the website and see if there's an actual email address, because email address is going to be a lot more receptive. And I promise you that your representative or your senator is not going to read that email.
No.
Is not going to get that letter. It's going to be a staffer. So you need to make a point. And you need to make it quickly, because they're not going to read every word of every email, of every letter they get. They just don't have time. You need to start with, like if you're writing a thesis, you need to have your statement, have your proof, have your conclusion. So, and it needs to be short, it needs to be sweet, and it needs to be nice.
Exactly. They, I've experienced this, and they are wanting to communicate when somebody has a real issue. I am not finding them to be like standoffish or anything else like
Most
that.
of them.
Unless
you're a Rubio staffer.
So that's been,
I'm going to call him out. I'm sorry. He pissed me off. Oh, I can't say that, can I? Sorry.
No, and I understand. And I have to tell you that this week I am meeting my U.S. Senators staffer. Okay. I'm going to first meet her staffer, and then hopefully I'm going to meet with her. And I have a long-term connection and friendship with my senator.
That's awesome.
And it's been a situation that I've actually did work for her father 30 years ago. So, nice. Anyway, that's been my long connection.
And if any of your audience has that personal connection, exploit it. Exploit the crud out of it. Absolutely.
Yes. I'm going to bring this up on the screen here. I am not sure how well we're going to be able to read this. How can I enlarge that? Can I just?
I don't know StreamYard. Hey, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is a document that was shared with me by DJI. And this is some fact sheets and a lot of really quality information that you can use in your letter, but do not cut and paste this. Do not cut and paste. Absolutely. Restate the facts as your opinion. You use this as a basis for your opinion that's you're giving to your representative. Yep. So first of all, DJI is the world's largest manufacturer of personal drones. Okay, we already know that. That's nothing. DJI is privately held. The United States government passed a regulation that you can't invest in DJI. Well, nobody has ever invested in DJI.
Very few. There are some investment companies that have done that, but it's not a personal thing.
It's a privately held, it's not a publicly traded company. Right. I can't call Schwab and say, I want 10 shares of DJI. That they're not available. So
Right.
this law that we inadvertently, or regulation we pass, has zero consequence.
Mm-hmm.
DJI sets the standard for drone safety. I don't think any other drone company can say that. And I think that, we all know and we all complain about the geofencing and the fly safe database that we have to deal with DJI, so that we don't fly in illegal airspace without permission. We can all get permission.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to fly down the Las Vegas Strip. I've gotten to fly over the Las Vegas Raiders stadium, not during a game, but
Right.
but that is, I mean, I am less than a mile from the airport at that point, kind of thing. You can get that regulation. I've gotten to fly at Nellis Air Force Base, and communicate with the tower at Nellis Air Force Base. So, I mean, it is possible. And if you have a reason to do it, you can get permission to do that. But you have to go through a lot of hoops with a DJI drone, not just get the federal government's permission, but you also have to get DJI's permission to do that. Okay. The
And
data security.
a lot of people don't like, let me just stay on this real quick, the geofencing
Sure,
issue.
please.
A lot of people don't like that, but you hear a lot of people complain about it. But how many times do you not hear somebody complain about it? I know you can't answer that question. It's a non-answerable question. But if you figure 5% of the people complain about it, the other 95% say, heck with it, I'm not going to fly. How many of those flights that were prevented would have possibly caused an issue? I love the concept of geofencing. I wish everybody did it. I think DJI really, really needs to work on their implementation. It should be tied to the or should be tied to the UASFMs,
right?
The grids. But anyway, so yeah, that's a slightly off topic, but
no,
we're on the subject.
But I do think, in fact, I've had the conversation with DJI
Mm-hmm.
that they do need to make this more public of
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing. That this is, I have to tell you, up until 3 weeks ago, I fully believed that I had synced my flights with DJI, that data was going to China. I fully believed that was the case. I only recently found out that it is not going to China.
Amazon servers in the US.
Yes. And here's their data security. DJI protects user data. Our drones are built to operate without any internet connection. Customers have control over what happens to their photos, videos, and flight logs. If they want to share it with us, they can. If not, we don't have it. And we don't have it. We can't provide it to anyone else, not even if they're served a domestic or foreign government request. They don't have the data unless you give it to them.
You have to opt in.
Yes. A number of U.S. Department of the Interior, the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Commerce have all tested the DJI drones. Okay? They have all tested the drones and said there is not any data leakage whatsoever in the drone, and is not creating any security problem. DJI encrypts your data. When they do take your data, there's multiple different standards of encryption, but this AES 256 is one of the strongest encryptions. And any location data, they are double encrypting that. So your location's not being leaked. Our own remote ID is leaking a lot more location data than DJI drones are leaking here. So anyway, and then we're getting to the end of this document, but there's American alternatives to DJI products are more expensive and less effective. And we have lots and lots of stories about this being less effective. And the limiting access to imposes a real cost on America. In Florida alone, they have spent over $200 million on DJI drones that are all locked up.
Grounded.
I hope we can buy them. But, I mean, God, they should have a fire sale here or something, but there are $200 million of drones locked up. And now Florida has to spend their state taxpayers' money on inferior products.
Yep. If you go to Drone XL, Haya has a great article. It's probably a couple pages down now because it's about 3 or 4 weeks old. But he has a great article about the Florida issue. He put a link to the Florida, I believe it was the representative, might be the Senate. One of the committees had a bunch of first responders come in and testify and say, look, these don't work. Palm County Sheriff came in and said, I got to see if I can get the numbers right. I think he said they have 300 flights a month with their drone crew. 200, a lot. And then he said, since January 1st, which of this year, when the drone ban went into effect, they've had a total of 3 flights. 3 flights. And he says they use them. Palm Beach County has a bunch of water, a bunch of swamps. They use it to find autistic children. They use it to find, there's a lot of old people in Florida, heaven's waiting room. And a lot of them have dementia and they'll wander away. And so if you go to Haya's, again, Drone XL, I think it's .co. I'm not sure exactly, but just Google Drone XL and find that article. It's a half hour long and there is some compelling testimony. One of the blue list drones caught fire in the back of a patrol car parked in somebody's house. And it's just, they crash routinely. It's not good.
No,
it's not good at all. I won't go any deeper.
Pause here for a minute, Vic, and bring in our friend, one of the people responsible for the success of Old Farts with Drones, Captain Ray Kelly.
Hey, Cap. Oh, I should have worn one of my hats. I didn't think about that.
How you doing? Hey, Vic.
How you doing, sir?
I tell you got a very interesting show going on here today. Yep.
Well, good. We need help here. We need lots of help here. So, and we need action. I see your new person with you there, Mr. Kelly.
I know.
Halloween's over, brother.
Is your girlfriend You are back in the Long Island headquarters?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I got back last night. So.
I saw your post about the plane shot at Long Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, Bob, you're absolutely right about contacting your representatives about this issue. And Vic, you're very involved. I know that. And I've done it. I've contacted mine in this area, and I let them know that there's a big mistake being made.
Mm-hmm.
Really, not that they listen to me, but at least
they listen to numbers. They listen to numbers.
Yeah,
right.
And you hear a lot of people say, "I'm too nervous." That's fine. If you're polished, you're a professional. You should be. I mean, I think probably all of us here are pretty, or us three are pretty good at it now. But when we first started, I sounded like somebody going through puberty. I mean, it was, my voice would crack and I would bumble my words, which I still do, and stutter. But that's real.
Yes.
You're going to, the impression you're going to put out against, or the impression you're going to put towards the other person that you're talking to, they're going to say, oh, this guy's real. This gal's real.
Right.
And that's important.
No, it is. It is very important, and it is important that you contact them because they do listen. Some of them do listen. You know, politics plays a big role in this. You know it. I know it. And people don't want to buck the party leaders about certain issues. And, you know, unfortunately, that's not the best way to go about things. You know, you got to stand up for what you feel is right. I don't care what party it is.
No,
and you got to let it be known, really.
Yep. This issue is not Republican and Democrat.
Absolutely not.
It is. I mean, I have, seen both parties are voting to ban DJI drones. Absolutely. I mean, it is. So this is not a partisan issue. This is a, whatever you call it, bipartisan issue. I don't know.
Nonpartisan issue.
Nonpartisan issue.
I want to address something Coast to Coast just said.
Sure.
In the chat, he said 5,000 plus signed and gave cause against remote ID. I'm assuming at this point, and we still get remote ID. Yes, we have it, but that's a DHS issue, and since they're the 5,000-pound elephant in the room, they get what they want, or gorilla. But we made a huge difference in those 56,000 comments. You know, we did not get networked remote ID. We did not get sessions. We made a difference, and so our voice can make a difference.
Yeah, I made my comment at the time. I did.
I had 3 comments.
I did too.
I had 3 different comments. I did my own. I did UAS Colorado, and I did a former school I was associated with at the time.
Yeah. I got
some. I'll tell you that it's going to be very interesting when it goes into effect.
If it goes into effect,
the FAA and the police, they're not going to be enforcing it.
They can't.
They're not.
They can't.
They can't. They don't have the manpower.
Well, if the FCC issue goes through, which I just cannot imagine, because that's going to just absolutely decimate an industry, including first responder industries. You know, we're a multi-billion-dollar industry every year, and that's not going to happen. That's pure political stance right there. But if it does, it's even at the federal level, it's going to go down to the states. We're already seeing it in states.
We're already
just did their thing. Mississippi just introduced, which I got an email about that today. I have to make a meeting. California had it. It's going to fall out. Might come back next year. There's a couple other states doing it, and it's going to go down to us who work for some of these contracts. Most of you probably know that I shot the National Park Service. We shot video for the Mesa Verde National Park. I could not use my Mavic 3s. I could not use the best product I had, because it was DJI. Now, to Skydio's credit, I reached out to them and asked them what they could do, and they sent me an X2 to fly, which was awesome for free, and so 2 people out to help me. And so I want to give Skydio credit there, because they do things like that. But it was not a video drone. That thing would fly. It was. We got what we got, and I'm looking forward to seeing the video. But it goes down to us as a commercial pilots and recreational. Yeah, if you don't have that bandwidth to fly because the FCC cuts it off,
right?
You got either $500 pay weight or $2,500 pay weight.
Right. So I think that also, if speaking to the audience here, I know we only have about 20 or 25 people listening right now, but I'm usually getting about 250 people watching this show after the fact. I think it's probably the reason that I'm on in the middle of the afternoon for a lot of people. But the old farts, I do believe. First of all, every time I've testified or spoken to a representative, I've told them that I'm the founder of Old Farts with Drones. Every single time I've said those words, they smile.
Yeah.
They smile and they remember who said that, you know? And I have to tell you that our population, the senior citizens, those over 55, whatever age you want to pin it at, we vote in much greater numbers than any other demographic.
And we have more free time, so don't piss off old people with free time.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. So we have we have a valuable voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Incredibly.
we have.
And
We have a
experience.
valuable voice. So
Yep.
please use it. I don't know how I have to. I mean, I will share any of these documents that DJI has shared with me. They have given me permission
Mhm.
to share everything with anybody that wants them. So, I mean, I'm gonna do that. So listen, I want to open up the show here, but I also want to, I'm going to do that right now. Give me a moment here. I'm going to put the link for the show here into the chat. So I know that we have quite a few people that are wanting to get into this conversation, and I have a semi-paid StreamYard account here, so I can still get 10 people in. So there, I just shared the link. So jump in. But here I pulled together a few documents here, and this one is from the recently. This was April 13th. That they're reconsidering the ban, the first responders ban of DJI drones. They're being forced. Here's the quote. Here's the quote from that Vic was mentioning before, from Colonel Robert Allen of the county sheriffs. Said we had 5 failures of the manufacturers on the list. DJI, none. They've been using DJI for 5 years, and they've been using the ones on the list for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So here's
you got to give the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office a lot of credit, because the sheriff is going against the governor on this.
Of course.
And
yeah.
the other legislators that voted for it. And that takes a lot of guts. So you got to give them a lot of credit for making statements like that.
Exactly. It said that this is also from Florida. This is where they're saying this would, that they're going to drop $200 million of DJI drones. Arkansas has already started the same exact. They're doing this by state. There is a lobbying effort. They are hiring lobbyists in every state. I know the lobbyist in Nevada. His name is Chris Ferrari, and he's been hired by, what's that drone company, Vic?
Brink or Skydio?
Brink. He says Brink has an office in Las Vegas or in Nevada. So, so this is where it's coming from. Now, I don't know if I can make this larger, but this is the lobbyist. Not that one, this one. This is the lobbyist verbiage that you're going to see from states here. This is the language, a list of countries, businesses, and entities from which a public agency or law enforcement agency shall not purchase or acquire any unmanned aerial vehicle or other equipment or services relating to the operation of an unmanned aerial vehicle, and a list of unmanned aerial vehicles and other related equipment or services that a public agency or law enforcement agency shall not operate, purchase, or acquire. But that goes on, and it says, from any country, business, or entity from that is prohibited from purchasing blah, 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 by which pursuant to federal law. It's a state amendment here to a state bill quoting federal law. So they're saying if the federal government says no DJI drones, our state is going to say no DJI drones, is what they're trying to imply here. So anyway, and then let's see if I can get back up here to, here's the bill that's called the Countering FCCP Drone Act. This is the newest bill that, as Vic said, probably doesn't stand a chance, but this is cutting off the FCC from issuing permits and revoking the permits issued to DJI. That's the purpose of this. This is from Drone DJ here from High. This is his the beginning of his article there.
Actually, that's not High yet, Drone DJ, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. And we've seen those already. Okay. Anyway, so I welcome everybody to jump in here. I put the link in the chat.
Hey, who's Coast to Coast Drones? I've seen them before, but they don't have the right information. They have bad information. Okay, he says Skydio already took 80% of those government contracts, and Skydio did not. Skydio does not have the manufacturing capabilities to do anything close to that. Close to it.
Oh, hang on, I got to get. I know Tom Dowling is trying to get in here. Tom testified with me at the Nevada Legislature, and hang on. Let me quickly get Tom in here. I've got the wrong.
Tom's an expert in the field, obviously.
Yes.
Of first responder use. Yeah.
Yes. I want to hear from him. This is the right link. Okay. Tom has the right link now. Okay.
I've got to start using StreamYard for the SDA stuff. I like it. It
does, it's simple and, you're able to do a whole lot here.
Yep.
Kind of thing. So, okay. Anyone else that wants to jump into the link, I've now posted it again here. But I really think that, action is what's going to take, what's going to make the difference here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
what's the date on remote ID? September what?
September 16th this year.
Right.
Yep. So anything after September 15th at midnight, unless it's out of FRIA or unless it's recreational under 250 grams, it's not required. Right. But that doesn't mean, like, if you're going to fly an Aspire 3, a Mini 3, if you're going to fly an Aspire 3, it is definitely over 250 grams. But the Mini 3 is even if it's under 250 grams, will still transmit remote ID because it is not turn offable.
So, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hello, gentlemen.
Howdy.
How you doing?
How's everyone doing? Sorry, guys, for the lighting. I'm in my RV. We're out exploring this great U.S. we have here. So
nice.
Bob reached out to me.
You're living the dream, Tom. You're
living the dream. Living the dream, right?
You're in Death Valley, aren't you?
We're in Death Valley. Yeah, I posted an image earlier. We were at Badwater Basin, 282 feet below sea level today. So, we're trying to explore as much of this great country that we have. And Bob reached out to me. Bob loves doing things last minute, by the way.
Yeah, he does.
Okay?
It's okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Bob reached out to me. What was it? The night before the state Senate hearing, Bob, you reached out to me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes. That was assembly committee. Yes.
But and Bob, I thank you for that because 40 years in the FDNY and seeing fellow members injured and hurt and making the supreme sacrifice, protecting others and maintaining quality of life, really is something I'm passionate about. And what these lobbyists, or actually these legislators that are pimping for these companies, are doing is taking away a tool set. Imagine for a second here that when the Jaws of Life, a hydraulic rescue tool, was produced. Imagine if that company Hearst happened to be in a country other than the U.S. And all of a sudden, a bunch of legislators got around and said, "Hey, you can't use this rescue tool anymore because we don't like where it's being made. And don't worry, somebody in this country will make one eventually that lives up to the same standards. Imagine how many people would have expired in automobile accidents as a result. Okay, the same is true here. First off, there is no better public safety drone on the market today than the M30T. Okay, pure, I mean, built for public safety. So here's a tool set that not only can protect quality of life, not only can, if we're lost, Bob, up in the Black Mountains and Henderson Fire has to respond right to our iPhone satellite call now for help. It could take them hours at the earliest to find us, and potentially a day or two. And if we're in an emergent situation, we might not have that kind of time. Meanwhile, you put up an M30T or a Mavic 3 thermal, and you're going to spot us like that. Okay, so these lobbyists, okay, which is the bane of our political system we have in this country, by the way.
It is.
These lobbyists, okay, are touting so many falsehoods. And we're in a society today that, you can say whatever you want and it becomes truth because it came across your lips. And I worked with, in concert with a group called New Steel. New Steel is a national science testing lab for DHS. And we looked at this. We looked at data leakage. Okay. NIST looked at data leakage. DHS through a study, I believe, what was it with, was it Iowa or
Idaho National Laboratory.
Yeah, National Lab. All found the same to be true, that there is no data leakage. And as far as first responders go, tell me where this data I'm capturing and recording is going to be leveraged, where that data doesn't already exist through another medium. So you're stopping me. I mean, come on, what was it? 2 weeks ago, this past Tuesday, that I'm proud to say the FDNY was able to tout the robotics initiative that I was able to be part of at the ground floor. And to be able to see our firefighters being protected by not just the Boston Dynamics dog, Spot, Burge, okay, but also by a Mavic flying overhead, and guess what? An Avata flying inside. Okay, so that our firefighters could find their ways to those victims as safely as possible without negatively impacting the response by becoming victims themselves. Okay, so these are tools to keep names off of memorial walls. That's what these tools are.
Yes.
So it really got to me that, this nonsense that, hey, look at what happened and correct me if I'm wrong, Vic. The Department of Interior grounded thousands of drones.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's why I had to fly. That's why I had to fly the X2.
Right. And here you have a situation where the Department of Interior uses those drones for forest management. Okay. What have we had these past couple of years is significant forest fires in this country that have devastated not just the forests themselves, but homeowners and residents in the area.
We had a huge one here in Denver last year.
Right. And what happens after a forest fire? Now you have a deforested area, and then we have torrential rains. And then let's bring Mother Nature back into the game again and have mudslides. Okay. So the trickle down effect is happening right now as a result of grounding probably the most reliable drones that are on the market today. So instead of cutting us off from a world we globalized a long time ago and committed to, okay, now you're turning around going, hey, you love that piece of candy, but now you can't have it. But don't worry, we got something bitter in the corner here. You'll over time you'll grow used to it. Okay.
Well, a good example of the idiocy, and I love to use this as an example when I talk to legislators, is like, okay, I couldn't fly my drone over 1,000-year-old Indian ruins. I had to use an inferior drone. But the most protected, most monitored, most tightly locked down airspace in the country is Washington, D.C. You have to go through a lot of steps in order to fly in Washington, D.C., which makes sense. 100% makes sense. But who is, when somebody goes through all that brain damage, what is the number one drone they use when they get permission? The Inspire 2.
Right.
The Inspire 2, because it's a phenomenal drone, and hopefully the Inspire 3. So, and that's, okay, so I can't fly over 1,000-year-old ruins with mine, but somebody can fly over the Capitol.
Right.
It's asinine.
With the DJI product.
With the DJI
right,
product. Yep.
But
Welcome,
also,
Mark.
hey, Mark,
Hey,
also
good,
we use,
good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
how are you,
Hey,
Mark?
Mark.
We use products in public safety such as Drone Deploy, Drone Sense. These are things, and plus in the FDNY, okay, I had a cybersecurity team. We were part of 3C. We were part of Citywide Cyber Command. Okay, I had 327 technologists in my bureau, and believe me, we looked hard at these things because we had everybody above us asking, do we have liability? Okay. And I showed them that the risk, the liability was so low. Okay. It was completely negated mission we had to leverage these drones for. So, look, it's already up on Google Maps. It's up in their area. You can get that information, and it's not coming from DJI. So you're stopped from using a living tool, okay? Because in this country we don't support STEM, okay?
No.
We don't give companies sufficient grants to develop. And what do they tell me? Or how many U.S. components, Vic, are in that Skydio drone? And you're 100%.
The blue one
correct.
is not even
They
a blue
don't have the
drone.
manufacturing capability.
We don't have the manufacturing capabilities here. And speaking of STEM, DeSantis killed the STEM programs in Florida because what do they use? Telos. Right, exactly. He killed the UAS STEM system in Florida. Sorry, okay, I'm going to quit talking now because I'll talk forever.
No.
I just wanted
you and me both, Vic. You and me both.
I wanted to come in and just give a little bit of news because I don't know if anybody knows, but the Mavic 3, and I'm not sure if it's the Mavic 3 Cine or Mavic 3 Pro or whatever Mavic 3. There was an update that came out that allowed us to use the goggles and allowed us to use.
I'm using it, Mark.
The motion controller
too.
But if you're using a MacBook, any Mac product, and you did an update on your MacBook, your DNG photos will have color banding. I don't know if you know that. So all your raw photos, all your DNG photos will have. I thought something was wrong with my camera. I jumped the gun and I sent my Mavic 3 in. My Mavic 3 is on its way to Texas.
Oh no!
Can anybody intercept it?
If it comes through Denver, I'll try. Just give me the try. Yeah. It's if you open it up in preview, you get the banding.
You get You get it in any. Yeah, I opened it up in like this photo.
But if you update from a Windows computer, no problem.
No,
I don't think
there were
Windows
no
had a
problems.
problem.
Yeah, there were no problems in Windows.
Yeah,
and see, I'm ingesting those images, and honestly, I got to, I'm not. I love the idea of using it because, like I said, I've been my side gig was a photographer for over 4 decades. I like looking through the viewfinder, and to me, the goggles are my ultimate viewfinder.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of being in the middle of Death Valley with a 1200 nit or a 1200 nit screen that I can barely see on, I still curse DJI to this day for abandoning the crystal skies. Okay, my 2000 nit monitor was everything to me.
Yeah,
but I can only see using it to shoot video with.
Yeah.
So to then photos.
And
but again, I ingest those DNGs into Lightroom right away. And
I use
so
Capture One, and it's great. Yeah.
I haven't seen any banding or artifacts
Yeah.
in those images.
Yeah.
Okay. No different than if I was shooting with a regular controller.
Well, it was weird to me because of I had just shot some land on a job, and I had no problem. And then all of a sudden, all these updates came in, and I don't think it's the update with the DJI update. It's the
Might be
update with Apple.
Okay.
Right? So it has nothing to do with the DJI. So I called DJI and I said, could they send it right back? And hopefully they'll send it next day or whatever.
They might just send you a new one too.
You know what, Bob? I like the way you talk, brother.
That's what he told me.
He usually
That's what
does.
Mark
Yeah,
told
but
me.
then you have to re-register it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's $5.
You know? Yeah.
Unless
What's
you're
$5?
recreational,
Yeah, they
then
just
just stick
sent
your
me
number on it.
They
Then
just
stick
sent
your
me a
number
new
on
one
it.
in January, and I
Ah.
had to re-register and get a
Yeah.
new registration number. And
Take a half hour, no problem.
yeah,
With any luck, I'll be registering my Mavic 3 Pro this weekend. We'll see how it goes.
Oh,
Wow.
Good for you.
Hey,
Good for you.
we are fancy talker.
Hey,
I
even
took-
better, I may get to fly around Coors Field and chase a wing delivery drone around on Monday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that'll be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. And so many of us old farts who are flying recreational, and I mentioned this in all of my testimony too. I mean, a lot of us have started small businesses in our retirement flying drones.
Amazing.
I have to tell you, I bet you 40-50% of the members of Old Farts with Drones have their 107.
Nice.
That's
And
amazing.
we have the time to study, we have the time to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we can pick up a couple real estate jobs a month or something like that, that's really a bonus for senior citizens here.
Just if you're below the full retirement age, remember you have an earning cap there, okay?
Yes, yeah, you have to.
So keep as much of it off the books as you can. I'm
never going to retire.
But
No.
what I'd like to suggest, and of course this is a suggestion, but for all those who are doing that, Bob, and anybody else that's listening, listen, know your self-value. Know your self-value in this industry. Because what happens is we get a little hungry and we say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then we end up like dropping the price and lowering the bar.
Hey, Mark, I got a job for you to shoot. If you shoot this one for me for free,
Yeah.
I guarantee I got 100 people behind me.
I'm
looking
going to
for your
show it to
services.
100 people
No.
that
Yeah.
need
We
your
got
service.
to understand there's a list out there that tells you what drone photography, you got to understand what you're flying in the air costs money. All the time that you put into learning how to fly and being safe and what all you gotta think about all of that.
Insurance.
So I mean, if you need, if anybody
Cost of
needs like
insurance.
pricing and understanding pricing, reach out to somebody that's been doing it. And like, what happens? It hurts us as drone pilots
Mark,
that are like.
This is the same
making
problem that happens to photographers, to
Yeah,
videographers.
it's been that way. I've been
Absolutely,
doing
yeah.
this for 35 years. and it hasn't
Right,
happened.
exactly, Vic.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
my
I mean, there
brother-in-law
are
just
published.
got
Got a drone. He's going to do
And
it.
it's always going to go on.
there are published day rates. Okay, I've
There
always
is published
gone
day
by.
rates, yeah.
Yeah, I've always gone by half and full day rates. Usually more than anything, because that already looks at my cost of assets. It looks at that depreciation. It looks at my insurance bill, my time both during production and in post production. Because that's one thing people leave out also is okay. You only took 15 minutes on site to capture that, but then you took 7 hours,
to edit that.
7 hours in the back office working on it before delivery, and then the customer comes back and goes, oh, could you lighten this up, or could you darken that up, or could you remove Uncle Harry? I really don't like him. So these are things that you could basically flip burgers at McDonald's and actually earn a higher per
and get free
hour
food.
salary.
Oh, they have robots now.
They have robots to do that. Hey, I want to get on my day rate.
This is not to be boastful.
Hold on. Go ahead.
This
Go ahead.
is
Vic.
not to be
Tell me.
boastful at
I want to
all,
hear
and
this. This is going to be good.
I just like, I just want to encourage people, like, and it's not to be boastful, but like when I get called out sometimes on some of the gigs that I go out of state, they pay for my airfare.
Mm-hmm.
They pay, and when I'm flying, I'm
Up
getting
front.
paid. It's $350 a day. When I get out there to scout, not even to shoot, $350. Whenever I shoot, the day I shoot, no matter what, half a day, whatever it takes us, I get a full day's pay. That's $1,500.
Yeah.
I was going
So
to
if
say
I'm
you're a
going for
cheap
5
date.
days, I'm coming back with about $3,500. You know what I mean, or more.
Okay, so my day rate soapbox. Here we go. Ready?
Good.
Don't use day rate. Use creative fee.
Creative fee, yes.
Because
I'm sorry.
if you're charging for your creative fee, that means you're charging for your ability. If you're
Right,
going to you
right,
could base
right.
it on a day. That's fine. I base all my stuff on
Yeah.
day, half day.
Right.
If
Yeah.
the day rate, half day
But-
rate,
But
nowhere
don't advertise it that
in my
way.
invoices.
Right.
Nowhere in my
exactly.
estimates. It's a
Good.
creative fee. You're paying me to be creative, and if I'm going to say it's going to take me a day, but I'm done in half a day, tough.
Good.
Because
Yeah,
I got news for
exactly.
you. If I have to go a day and a half, that the client's, I guess wrong. The client's not going to pay an extra half day.
Right.
That's on me.
That's a
And
very
so-
good point,
Creative
Vic.
fee, no day
Some
rate,
of those
please.
jobs
Right.
are like, they're film companies. So basically, they already have a set
Yeah.
fee for me. You know what I mean? Like they're saying, this is what we're going to pay you, and I can negotiate it, but it's already
Yeah,
good.
I would always list it as professional services. Was
Yeah.
my invoice?
Yeah.
item.
Yeah.
It's professional services.
The professional services mean you get paid.
I'm
Doesn't
talking.
Yeah,
matter,
well,
doesn't matter how good
look,
you are,
Look,
but you get paid.
the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, I'm going to get more work out of this. But listen to me. People that look for bargains are not loyal customers.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
People that look for quality are the ones you want to capture and deliver for.
And there's
Because-
nothing wrong with giving a loyal client or loyal
A
client
discount.
a bargain on occasion.
Right.
So,
I have no problem, or if
Yes.
it's something I really truly believe in, I have no
Yeah.
problem working for free.
4
I
weeks
spent
ago,
2 weeks in India working for free because it's something I believed in.
It was
Yes.
an opportunity, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and
Yeah,
and I've got a client. It's like, well, it's a small project. I really don't have much of a budget. It's like, okay, sure, no problem. I'll come out and do that for you because I know you're going to have
A big project.
Yeah.
5 to
Yeah.
6. Well, not 6, but five figure jobs for
Well-
me coming.
well,
I wish
listen-
I had a
yeah.
6-figure job
In
coming up.
photography, we have something called TFP or trade for print. Okay, that's
I
when
don't
you're
even do
working
that.
with a model. That's when you're working with somebody. No, exactly. And normally, the people who are doing trade for print
Uh-huh.
are just starting out.
Working on their portfolios.
Yeah, they're working portfolio. They're trying to
Yeah.
build a
Yeah, trying
package
to build
that
a
they
portfolio.
can then present.
I
And
don't
that's
like
a
A lot of drone pilots do that,
So,
right? From what I've heard.
funny enough, 3 weeks ago, I did that fly through. If anybody's seen it, the fly through of the auto body shop.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
43,000 square feet. Right. The owner loved it. We shot it. I threw it up on Facebook. It's got over 40,000 views. You know what? He hired me.
There you go.
This is my
Good
office.
deal.
Nice.
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 Yeah,
Hey guys, I got to
you
get
know-
rocking here. I got actually.
too.
I'm over about 10 minutes,
Yes.
but
So-
thanks, Bob, for inviting me.
Thank you, Vic.
If you guys are in Denver next week, if anybody's coming to Denver next week, stop by the booth. I'll be at the Colorado Pavilion at the AVSI Expo, and if you are, get the kickoff party Monday night at Coors Field.
Jeez,
We're
I
going to
love
have a
to
whole
go to
bunch of
Denver.
people. We're going to have Wing delivering probably a hot dog and soda. We really want them to deliver hot dog and beer, but we're not sure they're allowed. And you'll see me flying
Okay.
around too, chasing him. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right.
Good luck with
That's
that.
awesome.
All right.
Excellent.
guys.
Thanks, Vic.
All right.
Take care, Vic.
Bye bye.
So, thank you, Vic. So before I,
Guest on a Fly for Fun show tonight.
who is?
Vic.
Oh, Vic is. Oh, good. Well, you can hear more, and I'm sure this topic on the Fly for Fun show will come up here. And I have to tell you, I hope everybody keeps contributing to this. Where our voices, the drone community, need to be heard by these lawmakers being lied to by lobbyists. And so we need to make sure that they hear another side of the story. So
Yeah, the real side.
I have one other thing I want to do. If we can take a pause, a brief pause, but I want to do kind of a commercial. Okay. I know over the past months, we've had stickers. Everybody loves stickers. I have had these, old farts with drones stickers. I now have these new ones that are printed on silver metallic foil
Nice.
here. And I have to tell you, I've become kind of a friend with this guy who has a sticker company, and he also happens to be in Denver. So it's called Sticker Mountain. And if you go there, take a look. If you need to order stickers, take a really good look at what they got. They're good people. You can call. They'll talk to you on the phone. They'll help you if your artwork isn't set up correctly. They deliver really fast, and they do a lot of things special. I have a client that was looking for foil and UV embossed and raised UV and full 4-color process and intricate die cut, and they were able to do the whole job all on one sticker with all of those kinds of variables. So they're a great company, and they've offered the old farts a code here: sticky drones. Okay, sticky drones, you get 10% off. Okay, so take a look at what they got, and that's the end of my commercial for today. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so Ray, tell us what's going on. We got a show tonight.
Yeah, we got the Fly for Fun show at 7 p.m. with myself and Johnny. We got Vic on and Ryan Lauderette, and it's going to be a very interesting show to say the least. I also want to let everybody know, Rob Kamada last night announced the Long Island Drone Meetup, and we're going to hold that on September 23rd here on Long Island. Mark Fisher did not want to have one, and we feel there's a void and we need one, and Tony Paz didn't come up with a date, so we came up with a date, and I think Rob found a great location today. We're going to go test fly it, make sure we don't get kicked out. And it's mark it on your calendar if you want to come and join us. September 23rd here on Long Island.
All right. Thanks. Tom?
Just out trying to enjoy life. We're RVing and we're exploring Death Valley. So just keep looking for my post online. No doubt I'll put up a video at some point. But
how about our meetup coming up?
Our meetup, there is something
20th.
coming up locally. That's on May 20th. That is at Cornerstone Park. We have a permit. Will be a picnic area number 2, right adjacent to the lake. It's a group called Tech Event, and we're looking for whoever's in the area to come out and join us. We should have a great fly over there.
Cool.
That's
Mark,
good.
anything?
Cleaning
up, moving in, moving out.
I'm actually moving out. I'm actually finishing up my day at work, and so I just wanted to come in and make that announcement for anybody that didn't know it, so they don't fall into sending their drone in like I did. You know what I mean? I was hasty and sent my drone in just to try to get it back fast enough. But yeah, but thank you for having me on the show, and Bob, it's a great show and a great topic. And hey, Captain Ray, it's great to see you. I can't wait. Are you back in New York now?
Yeah, I got back last night. I flew in last night.
Okay, good. I'm coming to see you soon, brother.
All right, sounds good. I look forward to it.
Hey, safe flying, man. Have fun.
Thank you all. Well, thank you, everybody. We're going to run, a little over what we normally run. I want to tell you what I closed out my testimony with an assembly committee for the Nevada legislature this is what I closed out my my testimony with, and it says, to conclude, as a certified FAA drone pilot, I always want to use the best available equipment, and as a senior citizen, I want the police and first responders to be able to quickly find me if I'm lost in the desert. Thank you. That's how I ended my testimony.
That's good.
All
Bob.
right. Thank you all. All right. We'll see you soon. I appreciate all the support. Good night. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I'm glad I didn't get to chat much today, but thank you all for being here, and we will see you all soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.